No, I think I'm too tall for the bird. No! Ace, get in here. Hello.
Poor Ace. No respect. No respect at all.
I left my hat at home, so I'm making do.
Well, I guess yeah, okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, y'all wanted her back. She's back. All right. Good evening, everyone. We actually got quite a few people in here already. Luna, good to see you.
Hello, Angela, Anthony, and Luna.
Yeah.
And
Taylor.
And A12 Sia.
A12.
A12.
Yeah.
And Key Gaming.
And Key Gaming, yeah.
And despite the fact that my shirt says peachy, I'm actually Halloween.
Yep.
Queen of Sparkles and OPG. Yes.
Yes. And she actually got me a coffee cup for Christmas, brought it in early. Got a little Mando on this side, a little Grogu on this side. So
per the normal, I'm drinking Dr. Pepper out of a Halloween mug. Like an adult.
Oh, man. Hopefully everybody... How is that staying on your head? Do you have that pinned up there or something?
Oh, no. I just have a really flat head on the top.
You got dropped on yours a little, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, hopefully everyone has had a great weekend. Our weekend, weirdly, is just getting started because she came in for a couple-day visit.
Yeah, I hear yesterday.
So we'll be doing an early Thanksgiving tomorrow, actually. Getting up early, doing a few activities, hanging out. Trying not to get in too much trouble, theoretically.
We'll get in at least this much trouble.
At least. So,
because we're going to the gun range tomorrow.
Oh, YouTube's unflagged me.
Sorry.
Let's see. Before we do get into this and start taking questions and getting too goofy, I want to go ahead and remind everyone that at the start of the new year, Working Dragon Mystic is actually going to be starting its largest challenge yet. We're doing a full 6-month challenge that will be focused on self-improvement and self-mastery. We are going to be setting up a section of the Discord where if you join in on the challenge, you can join the Discord. Let us know you're taking part in the challenge. Let us know what your particular challenge is and what you're going to be working toward. Everybody can do their own little thing. And we're going to have a special section set aside for just those people. Now, on top of that, yes, we're all going to be there. We're going to have a chat group where we can motivate each other, talk about what we're doing, give advice, those kinds of things, possibly even do a voice chat where we can hang out and try to stay out of some trouble. We'll probably get in trouble, but you know what I mean. We'll have a good time. But at the end of the 6 months, we will officially be giving out prizes and doing drawings for all the people who actively participated in the challenge. And we're looking at doing specific prizes for accomplishments and stuff, though we're voting on that a little bit. Some of the admin have already agreed to donate prizes. So you can definitely look forward to that. And we will be starting that on January. So be thinking about what you want to do if you want to participate. Me and this little energetic squirrel here, we're going to be setting the Discord up potentially tonight to make sure it's ready for the new year because I just like to get things done that way. All right, let's see. We got a few people who popped in here, I think. Drago and Leah, welcome. Glad you can make it.
And Twilight one.
Yeah, Twilight. Good to see you. Yeah, yeah, it was Twilight. They actually, I guessed it.
It was just the Y's that were like, hey, that verb has a hat and I have the verb as a hat. Yep. Nothing else. This should help keep me a little more still. I say actively vibrating in the background.
She actually bought that parrot for me because I'm a bit of a parrot head, aka Jimmy Buffett fan. I know I don't look like it.
Well, now technically I'm the parrot head.
Yeah, you literally are. You'd fit in at a Jimmy Buffett concert right now. Okay, so, but that's the general announcements there. For my Tier 2 and Tier 3 members, we are looking at getting a live stream up with the holidays and the Thanksgiving and everything. It probably won't be this Monday, but the following. I do apologize for that. And what are you?
I'm showing them the cool hat pin I got you.
Yes, she got me a hat pin also for Christmas.
Anthony said, "What about Drake's hat?" So I turned your hat to show.
So as you all can see,
no, it's right here. It's not empty.
No, it's not empty. She actually got me a hat pin. I think she was a little surprised when I actually put it on the hat, though. I do have a little hat pin over here.
Is everything under control? I'm here, so no.
Key Gaming, is everything under control? No, she's here. It's not under control. We are far from under control during this stream tonight, people. Just remember, you were the ones that wanted her to come back and bug me. I'm going to need a lot more coffee.
He does have more hats. There's a door hat. There's the upstairs hat. There's this hat that has the pin on it. There's the
track one?
3 hats over there.
That's the track one?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not your normal hat, but it's the... I'll be right back.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no!
I do, Angela. I actually have quite a few. I actually have 2 older, the leather style hat that I wore Friday. I have an older one of it, and I got a brown one that's beat up. I still got it. I actually have a brand new one of my leather one that's never been worn or broke in. It's still up in the closet for just in case I need it. I have a felt Western style hat that is in the closet over here. And what are you? Oh, dear God. Don't fall.
I can see just fine.
Right.
The hats won't stay on top of each other.
That's because the tricorn doesn't fit the helmet. So.
No.
Daddy's not
staying.
Key Gaming, yeah, if you got a question, you can definitely ask it. I should make popcorn for this night. Oh, Luna, you ain't kidding. There are no ducks. They are in a roll. We have squirrels and they're doing magic. Yes, that is a very good description of what's going on here right now. And the thing is, I'm stuck with her for a few days at least.
I got the hat on the bird, on the hat, on the hat!
Hat inception.
Except for I have to fucking sit on the floor.
Did you just fall out of your seat?
Yeah, because it kept moving and I was moving the other direction. It's going well.
Hey, Jade, glad you can make it.
Moon, I'll fight you.
There's no ducks. Hello. What the? Okay. Yeah. K Gaming, if you want, go ahead and ask your question. I'll see if I can answer it. Let's see. I work with Tier and wait, I got your email earlier. I hadn't got the chance to respond to it. Can I put? Yes, you can work with both Aries and Tear on the same altar, definitely. They actually get along really well, though they do have slightly different opinions. Though they're both war and battle entities, Tear is a bit more on the side of just justice, just period justice. Whereas Aries, it's not that Aries is dishonorable, but he fights more than just for justice. He will fight for revenge. He'll fight for a lot of different things, where Tyr kind of sticks very strictly to an almost paladin-like justice mentality. Not truly paladin. It's more of the Norse paladin viewpoints, but definitely leans more into the justice in Aries. But they do still get along very, very well. And they can actually be on the same altar. They get along fine. Those are two I wouldn't mind at all putting on the same altar. And see.
I can't fight my own hat.
I like this idea of ascension through war gods. And that's not a bad idea, okay? I know a lot of people's like ascension through war gods. What are you, some kind of warlord? But what they forget is war gods aren't necessarily warlords. They're talking about having the strength and the dominance and the command of your own individual life to meet the challenges head on that come to you and meet those personal battles that come to you. And having that ability to work with, protect, and defend your friends and loved ones in your community. Those are all absolutely great qualities which easily do play into the concept of self-mastery and ascension. Not to mention, there is the fact that you're going to have to train yourself under these mentalities. It's a mentality I take. That's one of the reasons I actually have kept up with a lot of my martial training and stuff. I know it's hard to believe that the concept of self-mastery, discipline, and martial training, when you see her.
Hey!
But she did.
Lost Ace's hat. I'm sorry.
But she didn't take after me on that particular one. But it is actually that is something you could do. Let's see.
Maybe. So then I can see better.
You can try and fight me, but can you fight your own hat?
I'm just going back.
Well, first off, this wouldn't be as much of a problem for me because it was built to fit me.
Your head's just bigger than mine. My head's full of air though, so it's fine.
So yeah, those two could easily work together. Let's see, Aries. I feel like she is your gift from Loki. You know what? Yes, her and my wife are both little tiny gifts from Loki. This one's definitely the more energetic of the two, though my wife is quite energetic. This one, she gets into more trouble.
Because I'm younger.
Durango, any tips on working with Yormangander? Yeah, actually, Yormangander is an interesting entity to work with. The big thing with Yormangander is you have to understand Yormangander is a creature of chaos, and Yormangander actually does count as a dragon. Interestingly enough, I didn't actually think he would, considering his heritage, but that gets into a whole complex thing that would be better gone into at a later time. The big thing when you work with Yormangander, you have to understand Yormangander destroys to rebuild new things and help you grow. So you can create massive amounts of change in your life and build amazing things and create transformations working with Yormangander. But you can only do it if you are ready and willing to accept the destruction that comes first. And there's no way to soften the destruction. There's no way to ease into it. It's kind of an all or nothing concept, which is literally what we see of Yormangander in the Edis as well. So it makes a lot of sense. But as long as you're willing to accept that kind of chaotic, destructive change, Yormangander can be amazing to work with. I do know a lot of people who they don't want that change in their life particularly, so they tend to gravitate more to allowing Yormangander to destroy things in other people's lives. The problem with using Yormangander for curses or baneful magic in this manner, which a lot of people find out later, just like he can't create without destruction, he can't destroy without creation. So to use him in a curse, yeah, in the short term, that individual might have a rough spot in their life, but the fertile ground that's going to be left for them to prosper from, you're going to see this enemy of yours suddenly start to prosper and benefit. So you got to be careful there.
Look at my socks. They have penguins.
And she has penguin socks with grippies on them.
Yeah. No, put them back.
I'm taking the bird away from you. Normally I give people the bird. In your case, I'm taking it away. What? Oh no! What are you doing now? You're going to hurt yourself.
Always.
Let's see.
Lola wants to know what Hiritaki is.
Sounds familiar.
Assuming it's a Japanese god.
Yeah, it's. Oh
No.
wait, no, yeah.
Oh no, it's that medicine stuff.
Yeah. I have heard of that. I actually had to check on that one. I'll be honest with you, it's one of those things where I can't really offer you a direct opinion on it, Lolo, because it is a product that has crossed my desk. People's asked me about it. I have not had time to do research on it. The best I can say is the magicians I know who have don't think highly of it, and they refer to it as snake oil. But mind you, that is a third party analysis. That's not my own personal analysis because I have not had time to look into it. I do have plans to look into it and get some better information on it, but at this time I can only go with what other colleagues have told me. And with that, actually, I realized we got 22 people in here watching her torment me. If you kindly would, whether you are enjoying the stream or you just might feel some shred of sympathy for what I'm going through, could you give us a thumbs up and hit the like? Let us know you like the stream. It definitely lets YouTube know you enjoy what we're doing and the information I'm attempting to get out.
Thumbs up for more torment.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'd appreciate that. Thumbs up. It helps that algorithm. I'm not even... You deserved it. Don't wake the neighbors. They're being quiet this week. Oh, Lord. See what we got here. This live is the best. I'm already crying from laughter and needed that today, so thanks. Angela, you are absolutely welcome. She is a delight, honestly. I give her shit, but I'll admit, we love her to death. We do. In fact, we're a little sad that her visit's going to be so short. Let's see.
Why does your head have to be so big?
It's his ears. That's the problem. Does your daughter work with entities too? Actually, yes, she does, Leah. She really does. She's actually quite an accomplished little sorceress.
Even though I don't look like it when I'm causing mayhem in the background.
No, she is actually quite accomplished.
I just do better when I have my medicine in me, and I haven't taken it today. Don't yell at me.
Good time to get me not to yell at you when we're on stream. Did the twins decide to eat? No, it would appear the dragons have not brought the spray can this time. Let's see. Jay Phoenix, you've missed a lot of shenanigans from this one. Let's see. You are so awesome, guys. I'm glad we can help you some there, Kay. I do apologize. I got your email earlier. I've been trying to get to. I was going to answer back today because I've been trying to get a lot of things done today for the stream. So, let's see, Angela. You know what they say? The famous last words of people are probably, "Hey, watch this." You know what? For me and my friends, that's pretty much true. And at this rate, I'm thinking my daughter may have that same curse. Possibly. Oh, Peachy, you made it. Look at you. Glad you can make
Peachy,
it.
I have my Peachy shirt on. See? Peachy. It's just covered his distract.
Let's see, Taylor asked, do you by chance have any pointers for staying focused during meditation? I'm scattered brained and constantly get distracted or start questioning myself during and feel like it's a big block for me.
I got this one.
Yeah,
I am also, so I have ADHD in case you couldn't tell by everything about me, I am also very squirrely and scatterbrained. Something that helps me is you're not trying to clear all the thoughts from your brain. Hold on to one thought. You can let yourself wander, but always come back to that one thought. That's called a focus meditation. And it works better than trying to clear everything out, because you'll never clear everything out and you'll just frustrate yourself and wonder why you ever started meditating in the first place. So instead, just try and let your brain wander, but always make sure it circles back or comes back to that first thing. It works a lot better.
Yeah, and it is okay for something to randomly pop up. Random thoughts can come. In fact, I would tell you to examine it and ask if it's actually in any way tied to what it is you're meditating on. And if it isn't, then just push it to the side. Actually, give it recognition, pay attention to it, but then push it to the side if it doesn't pertain to what it is you're actually working on.
Also, movement meditation might help you, because then if your hands are focusing, it might help your brain focus.
Let's see. Also, what are your thoughts on drawing out a sigil for manifestation on a black mirror to charge them, or ancient symbols / runes for scrying? Okay. So Jay Phoenix, are you talking about around the frame or literally in the mirror? Because around the frame, I actually am not a fan of putting symbols on the frame of the mirror. I like a all-purpose mirror, and because of that, I keep any specific attunements or sigils off my mirror for that reason. Now, if we circle back that around to getting to putting a symbol on the actual glass of the mirror as you're scrying into it in order to connect with the symbol or something like that, that is an interesting practice. I don't actually use it on my mirror. Ironically, I do what's called skull scrying, and I have a black skull that actually has a kind of a blackboard finish on it where I can easily do that with chalk. And I really, really like to do that. My mirror, I'm a little bit picky on because I'm a little OCD when it comes to fingerprints and smudges. Otherwise, I would do it, but I am a little picky on that one. So I actually find it to be an effective and interesting method. I wouldn't use it as my single or solitary method, but I've used it in the past and had pretty good results with it.
Thank you, Peachy. And then Third Eye Boogie says to use a candle and focus on the light as part of that meditation. You can. I find the light hurts my eyes, but to each their own.
Let's see.
Let him stay put.
See, is it is it true that Kundalini is another way to access the dragon force inside your empowerment, enlightenment, and ascension? Because from weeks I felt ready to get that dragon force kick in. Um, that's a tricky one because what you got to understand, Kundalini is a system of energy work. I know modern practitioners have put Kundalini up on a pedestal. But when you raise energy through your central core, whether you utilize the chakra system, the Kundalini system, or just raise it through your entire energy body, you're ultimately going to end with the same results and same outcome. In fact, in Dragon Magic 101, there's something called the Dragon's Flame meditation, where you're literally pulling dragon fire itself through your energy body, filling your energy body to the point where it literally bursts out, and then you begin to shower and bathe in this dragon's fire, further empowering you, your workspace, and the work you're getting ready to do. And I know people who's done Kundalini for 20 years. They actually say that that meditation is more intense than Kundalini and even their initial Kundalini awakening, but the Kundalini work they continue to do. I have done Kundalini. I enjoyed it, but I don't really keep up with it because I found other methods that, at least for me, I find far more effective. So I can only go to these people who do practice Kundalini on a more regular basis, and I have to just take their word for it. Let's see. Do you know what it might mean for someone who has a lot of Scorpio energy, like soul wise, in past life? Ironically, Lolo, here's the thing. Our past lives are actually disconnected from our current life. I know this is an unpopular concept, but it is. Because our soul, as it goes through each individual life, it's not the same soul. It's a singular individual fragment of that soul. And each of them are disconnected, and they will remain disconnected until the point of ascension when the soul will reunite into the totality of itself. That said, it's not uncommon for a soul to have similar ideals or energetic signatures throughout time. Astrologically speaking, the astrological energies really only affect the physical plane, as they're only energies that actually correspond with the physical plane, because the celestial bodies in which those energies are equated to are physical astral bodies. And in fact, you can actually choose to have that these have no effect on you whatsoever. And though I find astrology fascinating, I also think it might potentially be one of the most distracting and or problematic areas of study, because people do look to it for excuses, or like I know most people on the West Coast use astrology as a reason to be a dick. They will literally be an absolute jackass to you and be like, "It's not my fault. I'm a insert random sign here." When no, you're making your personal choice. Your sign doesn't rule you. Your sign doesn't control you. At best, your sign is a snapshot to the energies on the day you was born. That's all it is. So we are still free to control that. They really won't rule us. What I would say to do is look at the Scorpio, look at the lore and the wisdom around it, and examine yourself. Be mindful of Scorpio's strengths and weaknesses. And I would seek to shape and mold myself to enhance the strengths and overcome the weaknesses, if that makes sense, Lolo. Was that your stomach growling?
No, that was the football bouncing into the other room.
Okay. I was about to say, I know I fed you. By the way, just so we're clear, when we're done here, you're picking all this up. Okay, just so we're clear. Let's see. Angela, I'm squirrel breathing myself. Magick has helped me from. So, luckily, entities I work with are quite patient with me and my scatteredness. That's always good to hear. In the mirror, you can put them in there for charging some. I know a lot of people actually find it's easier to look past them and get that looking past them in order to get them to charge and react. And I could see that because the mirror is going to have more depth to it than a piece of paper would. Can you buy a cheap mirror and make it into a black mirror? Odie, actually, you don't even have to buy a cheap mirror. What I teach my students to do, and I actually need to do a video on this. To make a black mirror, you can actually go to the Wally World, the dollar store, the Goodwill, wherever you want to go. Find you a picture frame that you like. Take it home. Get you a can of matte black spray paint. Take the glass out of the mirror. Spray paint it. Let it dry. Spray paint it. Let it dry. Put you about 2 or 3 coats on there. Hold that sucker up to a light. See if any light squeaks through. If it does, put another coat on there. But once you get no light coming through it, the side that you painted, put that inside so that the unpainted side's facing out. You have a $5 black mirror now. And ironically, these black mirrors tend to function far better than any of the $80, $300 obsidian mirrors you'll find. And they're very, very reliable. You don't have to worry about breaking them. They are amazing. So, sorry, this weather change is killing me. I'm going to take a cough drop. So that's what I would do. Freaking thing broke. Okay.
How did you manage to break a cough drop?
I broke the wrapper even, not even just the cough drop.
Taylor wants to know about any divine that you would recommend to look at dealing with anxiety and depression.
Ear's very good. The Norse goddess Ear. As is Freya.
I officially woke up the neighbors.
Yeah, you did. The big thing with Freya is Freya can be quite demanding, even though she can also be quite motherly. So that kind of motherly, demanding accountability side of Freya can sometimes be hard for people who already have anxiety. But you could definitely start with the goddess Eir, or yeah, she would probably be the best one to start with, in my opinion, at least from the Norse perspective. Raphael's not too bad if you like working with angels, but you did say divinity. I know a lot of people who said Persephone is really good. I personally can't say I've worked with her in that particular aspect or light. Hey, Squirrel.
Yes.
Any deities you would recommend for depression and anxiety? Could you come over here and answer it, because I don't want to. I don't.
Sorry. Yell across the house. Depression and anxiety, possibly Loki.
I can see.
Because he brings like the light and the chaos back into it. Because like with anxiety, you're like, it's kind of like that fear of the unknown kind of, at least for me, like really jacks up. And he kind of helps you accept that a little bit. Don't know how much he would help with the depression side, but he's really big into laughter as medicine, so that could help as a divine. The other ones I work with probably wouldn't really help with that. They're just kind of yeah, I see you're depressed, get the hell out of bed.
Yeah.
So.
Can I get a meeting with Angus Salor without co-worker? And okay, no. To actually get a actual working with Angus Salor and everything, or any of the rulers, you're going to need a guardian and a co. So that is actually very important. Not just it's the energy of those rulers. If you don't have that guardian and co there to balance it, their energy can wreck your life. They can really do a lot of damage. Well, it's not a good idea to go poke a ruling dragon that you're not ready for. Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I went and poked the ruler of the void just to see what would happen and if I could do it. I could do it. It was a bad idea. I had actual vines growing over my wards on the house, and this is not ideal. It really took 6 to 10 months of my life and put that through a blender. So don't recommend. From personal, I tried it.
See, ADHD in its full effect. You ain't kidding here.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, one of my favorite things to actually use as a scrying mirror when I travel is my phone. That right there's a black mirror already.
I broke my phone doing it.
Just turn it off.
Fair warning. Don't do it with your phone on.
No, don't turn the phone off before you do it.
I never said I had good ideas. I just had ideas. A glass of Coke or a black mug with water in it? Okay. I drink Dr. Pepper, though, not Coke. Also, I can't... There's ice in it. I don't know if you can see it without me dumping it. It's a stupid hat!
All I know is you're dropping stuff on my feet. Let's see. How do you get the dragon names? I mean, you are friend with the meta dragons because I don't find any other information about them in any of the other books. I mean, you've got great insight and information. Thank you. It's actually a lot of work. I actually started with Conway's works, and she assigned them stand-in names. So when you work with them, you can actually get names. And actually, the rulers, the names that we have given publicly, are actually stand-in names. Because as part of the path working in Dragon Magic 101, one of the I guess you could say, tests or trials as to get a name specifically assigned to you from the dragon to the dragon. The rulers were not too keen on some of the names Conway picked out, especially Ingus, because she called Ingus Fafnir. And anyone who's read any Norse mythology will quickly find out that Fafnir wasn't a dragon. It was a dwarf shape-shifted into a dragon.
I had no tail. And I lost his hat again.
And it was actually slain. And it really had no good qualities about it. So Ingus was a little insulted by that choice of name. But I get the names by working directly with the entities. That's really the best way to get them. Angela asked what's my favorite and your favorite entities to work with? Me, I absolutely adore working with Odin, Freya, and Hel. Those three entities have always been a lot of fun for me. When it comes to the rulers, it's hard for me to pick one particular ruler that I enjoy spending time with, because I do enjoy spending time with all of them in different ways. So for me, actually, it's hard for me to pick a dragon. So I usually gravitate to answering this with deities. Though I will say, of the specialty dragons, Expenwell and Torgra are two of my favorites to chill and hang out with quite a bit. Not gonna lie. That and Terrascale. Terrascale is also mentioned in Dragon Magic 102. He's a hoot to hang out with.
I'm trying to think through. Deity-wise, probably Diana, who's like Artemis but much softer, because the Roman and Greeks are not necessarily the same. They're similar. They rule over similar things, but they're not quite the same. So Diana specifically, she's pretty chill. Of like the dragon rulers, Cora taught me a lot, but I also just don't like water, which I think is why the dragons had brought over the spray bottle full of water that one time. It's not back, thankfully. I did see another spray bottle over there where I got the football from, so that may be them trying to sneak it over. I'm not sure.
Could be.
But like focus-wise, like Torgra's probably good for me. He is I think he was actually the first dragon I met.
I believe he was.
Yeah, because I wasn't studying dragon magic yet, and then dragon just straight up snatched me out of a meditation one time.
You asked for an entity that could help you with something that was going down.
That's true. And then you went, what about this dragon? And then I didn't even finish the video, and then I was yoinked from my body.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm putting back the hats. Some of the hats.
Some of the hats? Wildfire, good to see you. So I asked my guardian for a name. It gave me a name of a made-up character I made as a child. Does this sound real? Actually, yeah, dragons will not give you their true name because, well, first off, you can't pronounce it. You will not be able to pronounce it in any shape, form, or fashion. So they're going to give you a name to associate with them. And it's actually pretty common for them to give a name that's going to resonate with you in some way.
Can I have a Band-Aid and/or
what did you?
I accidentally cut myself, okay? You take the polar bear. It's not a bad bleed, but I would like to cover it.
Upstairs hallway bathroom, open at the Band-Aids. Heck, my time of living. Why do you have a polar bear now?
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer
to. People, she done injured herself on stream. Would you? Okay. You should write books about these dragons. It would be awesome. We are considering looking at doing a series of books that will be companions or standalone, similar to the Dragon Magic classes, that will allow us to dive deeper into the lore. We've also talked about doing a kind of evocation codex, or just a codex of the dragons themselves, where we can dive into the lore. So there's different ideals that we've played around with and tinkered with that we're hoping to be able to make happen. As many of you know, we're a small channel, and unfortunately getting some of this stuff to happen is very hard to do. which I am very thankful for the channel members and everything who do support the channel, because you guys do allow us to do more things. And without having a really good editor to look over my shoulder or a shadow writer to help me put my words on paper, it's going to be a big project, because one of the reasons I do better in video, as a Southerner, I can talk. I'm a good talker. But getting ideals from my head onto paper, much, much harder. But it is something we are looking at doing.
I ripped the arm off my first Band-Aid. Like, just look at this.
You even broke the Band-Aid.
Look at it. I just have an extra sticky piece now.
She even broke the Band-Aid. Is the Money King a real entity or just a myth? I'll be honest, it's not one I've actually directly worked with Oni-chan. I can't really say one way or the other. The best I can do is say I am unaware of it being a real entity, but I can't disprove it either. See, Wildfire, this is a basic question, but how does one get into a trance state? I know that most people can feel a falling, but I never feel that or anything. I still feel my body. I still feel my whole body, but it... Trance can be a tricky one for a lot of people because it can be experienced a lot of different ways. And yes, the falling sensation is one of the more common. But check out our Astral Sanctum video, because if you can get into an Astral Sanctum, move around your Astral Sanctum, interact with your Astral Sanctum, you're going to be in a deep enough meditative state that, yes, you are already going to be in that trance area. In fact, one of the reasons Astral Sanctum work is so popular, it allows you to skirt into the trance state without the falling feeling, which jerks most people out of the trance state. So it's kind of a back door.
Sorry.
Which would be a good way to... so if you're having trouble knowing if you're in there, it's a good way to know. And if you're having trouble getting there, it's a good way to get there. Let's see what we got. Let's see, it's so fun. It's what you do answer. But glad you're enjoying it.
Question, why wouldn't you have a bullet back? I found it. I was putting back the Mando hat, and I found it.
Oh, Lord.
And then I got sugar.
Yeah, you did.
It's a biscuit and honey.
Oh, monkey. I've not worked with the Monkey King either. And it's one of those where I don't have a lot of information to go on. I've actually not sure I've actually talked with anyone who's spoken about any direct workings with me. I'd have to look more into that, Oni-chan.
Did I open a portal to chaos just before I came in? No. I just stopped reserving all my energy for this. You probably can't see it. My aura is
Gaming,
just
what do I
energy.
think about Santa Morte? Is she a good spirit to work with in terms of benevolent, or in general? This is going to be an unpopular answer. I'm not a fan of her. I'm really not. I've worked with a lot of death entities, and Santa Morte is very possessive. And first off, I don't like possessiveness. Secondly, I'm not going to forsake the other friends and entities I've made in order to work with another. And I'm kind of big on justice, and I kind of believe when somebody does wrong, they should get their comeuppance. And she is an entity that willingly and openly, literally actually bypasses justice for people. And that don't really sit groovy with me. So due to all these reasons, she's actually an entity that I don't work with. I have had a few conversations with her because I had to intercede for other individuals. She definitely tried to persuade me to work with her. I told her why I was uncomfortable with it and why I wouldn't. And I even point blank asked her, I was like, well, if I was to work with you, could I? And I inserted my questions, and she said no. And I said, well, that ain't happening. I'm not a fan of her. But I know a lot of people who absolutely love working with her for different reasons. Um, so it's a tricky one.
Did you answer that one already?
Is meditation about being present by clearing the mind, and trance about focusing on something specific, like on an entity? No, actually, the real dividing line between meditation and trance is how deep you are. The trance state is deeper. The brain waves that begin to change. It doesn't have to do with you focusing on something. And meditation, in and of itself, isn't about clearing the mind because you have what's called focused meditation, where you're actually focused on something, and you can do a focused meditation without ever getting into a trance. I'm in another place, like changing the TV channel. I can see that, Luna. Yeah. So see here, Luna even says that she can hit a trance state without the falling sensation, and it's just like she suddenly in a new place, like changing a TV channel.
I mean, I don't feel like falling. You probably went over that when I was injuring myself. But I feel like I'm stepping through a doorway, and it changes, and everything just becomes more real all of a sudden.
Okay. Taylor, I've been feeling like Leviathan and Belial have been reaching out. How can I tell if they really are, or if it's just my fascination in them taking over? Honestly, the only way you can be sure is to reach out to them and ask. And you can do that through sigil meditation. It's probably the easiest way to do it is a simple sigil meditation. Take the sigil and meditate on that. Who's Santa Morte? Santa Morte is referred to as the saint of death. No one's really sure whether she's a newer saint or entity or if she ties into some of the older death entities around the Aztecs and whatnot. Um,
Really
most
commonly worshipped in Mexico and South America. Hence the name Santa Muerte,
Yep.
which is in Spanish.
Kind of is the patron saint of a lot of criminal activity, ironically, but that's largely because she will get you out of trouble. She'll get you out of legal trouble, whether you did it or not. And that, like I said, that goes against who I am personally. That's another reason her and I don't get along. But um, she is one of those entities where tracing her roots has kind of been an issue, and there's some people who believe her to be a very, very young, almost modern saint, and then there's people who believe her to be older, just under different names. And any of them's possible, and I haven't really done enough deep dive theological research on her to really throw my hat into that particular arena.
There's a whole festival for her
There
in
is.
Mexico.
There is a whole festival for her. She is very popular. And again, like I said, for those people who do work with her, they enjoy it. Just because she ain't my cup of tea, don't make her a bad lady. Leah, tips on or opinions on working with demons and how to get into it. Honestly, working with demons is no different than working with any entity. Even deities. The only reason deities are called deities is we choose to put them up on this pedestal. And if you want to work with them, do your research. Start by finding one that you enjoy and reach out to it and get to know it. Okay, you're actually weighing down my hat now. Check out our videos on finding and contacting entities because we talk about researching them, doing meditations to try and reach out and get to know their energy. Now, here's the kicker when it does come to entities that would classically be labeled as demons, they tend to move very quickly, very directly. They're not really about beating around the bush. So, if you are wanting to work with these entities and you ask them to create a change, you better be ready for that change to come in like a wrecking ball, whether you want it or not. And they're going to take the path of least resistance to get you there as quick as possible, which means if they have to tear down a wall to get you there, they're going to do it. And this is where people get in trouble because they want to manifest this, but they don't want to let go of what they already know, what's comfortable to them. And the irony is, in order to manifest and grow, we need to allow change. So you can't stay in your comfort zone and have change. You can't do it. Some entities, they'll kind of, come on. They'll kind of get you out of your comfort zone slowly. They'll try and coax you out with a chocolate bar or something, slowly getting you there. So the change may take time. But you slowly come out of that comfort zone, as it were. Demons are entities that classically fall into this category. They don't care. If you won't come out of your comfort zone, they'll blow it up. They'll just blow it up, and then you're sitting there naked, and it's like, here's the change, or you can sit there naked. So they kind of leave you with no choice. And to me, that's not a bad thing. I actually find it quite enjoyable. I do enjoy a good share of chaos. I mean, I enjoy having her around. Hi.
I'm considering getting more sugar.
Oh, joy.
I can bring you sugar.
No, I don't need sugar. So that would be the only things. I mean, and honestly, Loki's a good example. Loki is fantastic to work with. Loki brings about a lot of change. All the chaos he uses is about putting that change forward. But that chaos and sometimes destructive or mischief he causes to create that change, a lot of people's not okay with it. So you got to ask yourself if you're ready to accept that change and that drastically and that quickly. Let's see, do I know what shine energy is? And if so, how to raise that energy? Shine energy. Where I come from, shine energy is corn whiskey. So that might be a term being used for something else because they use new terms for things and I don't recognize them. So at this time, I'm going to have to say no because I'm pretty sure we're not talking corn whiskey.
Angela doesn't have the fall going into trance, but loud noises snap him out.
Yeah.
My cat jumping on me also.
Yeah, loud noises is definitely another one that yanks you out of trance. Big time.
Maybe playing some music in the background to join that.
For people who have auditory snap outs, try drumming or something like that. It's a really good way to do it. If you have taken the meditation course that we have over at the school, there are several tracks that use auditory sound meditations that are fantastic for that. When I started meditating, I would imagine the login screen of WoW to meditate state. Drake might. Oh dear God, I do know what you're talking about. The dark portal and that. Oh my God, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's actually not a bad idea, really.
Please enter your login to access your astral sanctum.
That's actually not a bad idea. I love that one, Lou.
Dual's Vault says, I keep getting hit in the face with wind emoji. When I meditate, is that me moving into trance?
Very likely, yes.
Probably.
Usually if you're getting some kind of sensatory interaction from a meditation, you are sliding into a trance. Let's see, what do I think about Anubis? What kind of powers of his has, and what can someone learn from him? I mean, are deities about war, money, love, etc., but what kind of cup of tea is he? Actually, Anubis and me get along pretty well.
He's like the least rude of the Egyptian gods.
Ironically, he really is. At least in my experience. But he actually deals with death in a lot of ways and transitions of the underworld. So you can actually learn a great deal about life and death from him, much like you could many of the other death entities. I can't say I've spent a lot of time over the years working with him. I have worked with him quite a bit off and on. And every time I did, it was dealing with death and passing, transitions, transformations, and even healing, actually, whether it was for myself or clients. And again, I apologize about this cough. This we keep going from 80 to like 40 weather, and it's.
What did I do?
I don't know what you did.
I keep highlighting questions so he doesn't like miss them, because sometimes your
You're
eyes
killing me,
skip 'em.
Small.
And it just kept highlighting and highlighting and highlighting as more stuff popped up. And I wasn't even touching the mouse.
Brad,
I broke it.
Let's see, Drake, I really enjoyed the stream. Also, you were talking about deities earlier. I have felt very drawn to the Greek god Pan. Just thought I'd share that with everyone. I have only worked with Pan a handful of times, but I gotta say, the times I did work with Pan was actually quite fun. He came across very energetic, playful, just fun, just good fun energy in my mind.
Why do we have these trance sensations for like the falling effect? Is there a reason?
As far as a hardcore reason, no, no one's really sure. There's a lot of theories, but nothing for certain. The biggest thing is it's just that energetic transition and your higher consciousness kind of tuning in. So the way it was, one of the theories that makes the most sense is if you've ever had the opportunity to like suddenly have water rush in on you and just like just suddenly put you in sensory deprivation, you get that sudden rush of sound that it's literally just created by that water rushing in. There's no actual sound there. It's just that sudden rush. When your metaphysical, auditory, or metaphysical senses come online to the expanse that entering that trance state does, and it flips it on, it's kind of that same thing. All that information is just rushing in on you. And we experience that in different ways. But as far as a specific, this is why, this is the reason, I don't think anyone actually has that answer, unfortunately.
Yes, Ra is a real entity. That is the sun god from the Egyptian pantheon. I've never heard of him being an alien, though.
Yeah, there are a lot of people in the UFO community who want to suddenly make the Egyptian deities aliens. And Ra, Amun Ra, which are two different versions of Ra, and the fact that the Egyptians wore the large headpieces. The ancient alien community has decided they were not gods, they were aliens, and they came to visit us. There's nothing.
Thanks a lot, History Channel.
I'll be honest, I've seen nothing to actually make me believe aliens have ever actually truly visited Earth. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying every shred of proof someone has pointed to when it comes to me, it just doesn't hold the water that it needs to hold. And that is problematic. And the research is getting worse and worse, not better and better, because we forgot somehow, some way, we have forgotten that UFO means unidentified flying object. It does not mean alien. So, as I've said on this stream before, if I was to take and throw her across the street because she's annoying me and no one realized it was her, she's an unidentified flying object at that time.
I'm a cool UFO.
So, and anytime there is an official report of a UFO, which is just an unidentified flying object, everyone wants to take it as that is absolute, positive, unequivocal, undeniable proof of aliens. No, it ain't. It's the proof that there was something in the air that's unidentified. Happens every day. Happens more and more because now we have these little remote control drones. We have toy blimps. We have all kinds of crap.
I mean, if you've never seen a bird's a UFO, so there's always that.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who've seen birds that actually would fall into that. So
I don't know. Herons are pretty weird.
But yeah, as far as is Ra an entity or an alien, I have worked with Ra. Me and Ra don't get along. And as much as I would love to totally bash him and just like give him shit and call him an alien, I kind of really would. I can't do that to him. I can't. Well, I could, but I won't. Let's do that. Him and I have kind of a respect going, so I will keep him in that And I've seen nothing to make me think Ra is or ever was an alien.
Thanks, Jade. Jade this time.
Let's see. How come a spirit does not answer a petition that's reasonable? Are spirits forgiving? Depends. I mean, generally, human spirits can be dicks. Let's be honest. A dick in life can be a dick in death. And when people's like, how come they don't answer a petition? Well, they're not required to. Free will is one of those things that exist in the multiverse. They don't have to. And they can make the decision to. So just because we write out a petition asking them for a favor, they're not required to do it, even if you view it as reasonable. For example, if my neighbor comes over here and asks to borrow a cup of sugar, that's reasonable, but I'm not required to give them a cup of sugar. I probably would. But at the same time, if they came over and asked to borrow, say, my altar, no, not doing it. So they're not required, just as we're not required. And this is why I teach people to build a relationship and not use them as wish granters or vending machines. Because, in all honesty, if all you're doing is writing a petition to ask a spirit or an entity for something to serve your own selfishness, you're just using them as a vending machine. And I'll be honest with you, that's disrespectful as hell. And if anyone tried that with me, I'd punch them. I have literally thrown people out of my house because the only time they ring my doorbell is when they need something.
You also threw my sister's ex-boyfriend out a window one time.
He deserved it. And
he has a history of just throwing people places.
And the patio furniture below broke his fall, so it's fine. Okay. Introduces aliens meme. Oh, God. Devote time. Oh, yep. Here we go. The clocks are getting thrown, which reminds me, I got to get the artwork Luna did for Jade throwing clocks at me uploaded to some swag over at the store. Because that artwork was absolutely hilarious. You all gave her the image of a Pokemon battle somehow, and she decided to turn that into actual artwork. So I will get that uploaded so you all can see what Luna did.
Angela says that we should get your Killing Me Small shirts.
Your Killing Me Small shirts? We might have to change it from smalls to your Killing Me Halloween. But you're right. We might need to get those shirts.
I've killed no one. On purpose.
I've lost a few years.
I don't know. I did a heavy hex one time.
K is dragon magic for everyone. I mean, energy of them. Is neutral, or do you need special piece? No. No magic at all requires you to be special or have any gold star or be born under any moon or any of that other gatekeeping horse shit people want to spew. And dragon magic is absolutely for everyone. There is only one stipulation to magic. Magic requires you to be accountable, and it takes you to seek self-mastery, and it takes you to do the work. If you are willing to do those three things, it's for you. Dragons are amazing creatures. They don't take excuses, but they will sit down and they will work with you through the most difficult times of your life, and they will they'll help you take responsibility for it. They'll help you build yourself up, and they're quick to just like backhand you or smack you in the back of the head, just like that, if you're putting yourself down. Because they're like, look, you made a mistake. Mistakes are good. Mistakes are how you learn. Now let's move forward. And they're going to help you with that. They're going to help you process what's happened, help you get back on your feet, and help you move forward. So, yes, as long as you're willing to do the work, dragon magic is absolutely for everyone. That's one of the reasons when, earlier I was asked about demons. I specified how demons work and if you're okay with that. Because if you're okay with that methodology, demons are for anyone. But if you're someone who needs the gentle touch,
maybe try angels.
Yeah, maybe try angels.
Same species. They're just
same species. They're a little easier. The only downside to angels is they do everything on such a broad spectrum. Even though they work in a softer way, they change things on a larger scale that in some ways might feel more of an upset to some people's life, depending. So there are definitely those kinds of concepts in there. But magic is not set up for any special people, any gold stars. You don't have to be a ward under any moon. That's just all horse shit. Um, Now, I would say that if you are looking at a closed tradition, traditions are very specific. They're not magic in general, they are traditions. And many of the closed traditions are closed for a reason. And if you are looking at a tradition, you should respect the traditions. Otherwise, you can't claim to be a part of the tradition. So don't go pissing in the pool of someone's tradition. Does that make sense? I hope so. Great questions tonight, everyone. Matt, you guys it was a lot of fun here.
Hi, Moonradish. Welcome. 5 minutes after the stream was supposed to have ended.
Hey, Moonradish, yeah.
Tips for building up psychic abilities? Just keep working. Just keep working.
So
maybe taking some divination.
Yeah, divinations are always helpful. If you are wanting to open up some of your psychic abilities, I could recommend the meditation class over at the school, as well as the arcane side. Both of those would actually help your divinations quite a bit. Let's see. We got to get going here. Give the entities I work with offerings because of calling on them just to see if they want. Got a minute just to. Yeah, and that's fine. I actually call on entities quite a bit just to sit and talk with them, not even specifically to learn. I actually do want to build that relationship, but even when I do that, I usually offer them at least at the bare minimum a drink because, well, maybe it's a southern thing, but I never have a guest here without feeding them. Period. Even her, I actually feed her, and like she ain't got. I never should have gave her that honey. She's gonna be bouncing off the walls. So yeah, I mean, don't treat entities like a vending machine, and that is way, way too common today in magic, unfortunately.
You could do what I do and invite them to go with you shopping.
You can do that too.
It gets lonely in grocery stores. Also, I forget what I go in for. I go in for milk. I come out with Cheez-Its and exactly no milk.
Do I feel an energy when I'm being? Yes, I do. Absolutely, totally do. Okay, so before these questions keep piling in, regardless of her stacking stuffed animals up over here, we are going to have to get going. Let's see, since I'm late, is this your wife? No, actually, this little thing here is my daughter, believe it or not.
I'm like half his age. Wife? He's been playing D&D longer than I've been alive.
Yeah. If you go check out the Just for Fun Goofy Shit channel we have, Dad and Daughter D&D, she's the other half of that channel. But yeah, I've been playing D&D longer than she's been alive. So this little chaos squirrel bean thing over here, daughter.
You can feel energy change when a being is in your space.
Yes.
Like with spirits, you might feel like that cold spot. Other entities might make you feel other things.
Yeah.
Certain demons just make me feel annoyed. They know what they did.
They know what they did. Okay. Y'all have a great week. I will see you Friday for research and ramblings.
I will not be here, so you can actually focus.
Nope. We are contemplating possibly working on a way to link the two computers. So she might join in more often.
It'd have to be on Sunday streams because I work on Fridays.
Correct. So it'd only have to be coffee hour, unfortunately. Upside, you won't be tearing my house apart.
I have so many more knickknacks on my desk. But my desk is also like a bookcase. With like
Don't worry, Violet Star. You can watch the replay and laugh at the torment that she has put me through tonight. And watch her literally fall out of her chair more than once.
In all fairness, this is like a drum stool and it's real wiggly. Like, this isn't like this is the chair moving.
That's the mechanic stool, actually.
Why does a mechanic need a stool? They have to slide under the car.
Depends on what you're working on. Oh, Lord. Anyways. Do remember, we do have the challenge coming up. Be thinking about what you want to do for that challenge if you're planning on taking part in it. I hope to see many of you take part in it with me because I know I'm going to be in there. A few of the admin are wanting to do it. And I do want to clarify. Admin, though, can participate in the challenge. Admin names don't go in the drawing for prizes.
No, because admin are putting in the prizes.
Right. So, myself, Chaos Bean over here, and the other admin will not be in the drawing for the prizes at the end of the 6 months, just to make it even more fair to y'all. All right. Y'all have a fantastic evening. I am going to get off here before she falls out of her chair again. Have a great week. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.